Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the Monday night. We turn that down a little bit. Whoa, whoa. There we go. A little bit better there. Whoa, whoa. You gotta have a sensitive touch. But I thank you guys for joining me. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. There we go. Horrible rainstorms in the city of Los Angeles. And it's also hard trying to figure out who's on, who isn't. This is not necessarily a Dabbleverse free chat, but we are not Dabbleverse. I will, if you come to Hackamania, I'll tell you in person. It's been a long 24 hours. There was a break-in last night into my building at 4 in the morning. I had to use my Artur's Kaliev stick for protection. For those of you who don't know who Artur's Kaliev is, he is the young forward on the LA Kings. And he used to play tennis as a child. So the butt end of his stick is the most amount of tape I've ever seen any NHL player use. It's like a tennis racket. And I use that as a weapon. So I am now starting the Earl private security firm Warrior. Jordan the Lion in the house. So I didn't sleep well. It's about 4 in the morning it happened. And everyone in my building knows I'm the only one up at the time, so I became a vigilante. I haven't been a vigilante since me and Chandler stopped a rape in progress a few years ago. So I was a little out of practice. I'm going head-to-head with Kill Tony and Raw. So be it. And I think BYB, the Quad Father, I am a friend of the Quad Father. But, at some point you got to go on. I mean, I figured it out this way. This is the only time I'll talk about the Dabbleverse because it does have something to do with what time I go on. Shuley starts at 6 in the morning. Melton, I think, is at 8 or 9 my time. Chad does whatever he does from like 10 to 12. And then, MLC is like 1 to 4, 1 to 5 sometimes. And then, Quad Father, Ray, Pat Dixon. So if I say I'm not going to go on till no one else is on, I'd be going on at 2 or 3 in the morning my time in front of about 10 people. So Gina Babina, we do have some women in that chat. KB, I will get the pleasure of meeting KB at Hackamania. And a lot of people have said, I thought you don't like the Dabbleverse. Why are you doing the Hackamania show? I'm a comic, man. I go where the action is. I am LL Cool Lee. Vegas is a it's a weird comedy city. Like there's a lot of performance opportunity in Vegas. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of good comics in Vegas, but there are a lot of good ones. Good performance opportunities. So I can go to Hackamania, do my spot there, leave for a little bit, do a set at Wise Guys, Brad Garrett's, Kimmel's, The Cellar. I'm not past at The Cellar, but I think I could get, say, Eddie If to vouch for a guest spot. There's probably another comedy club, but, something at the Strat, I could probably, I could literally go up in the 2 days I'll be there, and I might just be there for one night, 7 or 8 times. You can't do that in Los Angeles. So, you know and I don't have a problem with, yeah, I'm friends with Eddie Ift. I don't have a problem with anyone. I literally don't know Carl, so I got no beef with him. I mean, I guess I know Stevie Lou, but I mean, I don't we're not enemies, so I'm friends with Pat Dixon, but I've never met him, so, you know, I'd go to Atlantic City if it, wasn't, uh, as far away as it is, so that would be a financial loser for me, and at my age and experience level in comedy, I'm not gonna lose money traveling across the country to watch, Bob Levy play cards or whoever, and I love Bob, I get along with him, so, Vegas I can drive to, and, I've done, Skankfest, I think, once, that was enough for me. I just wanna do stand-up. So, I think the one Skankfest I did in Brooklyn, I was judging a naked roast battle, which was fun, and then I had a couple spots, but I, I wanna do I mean, I think the people coming for Hackamania are coming for the show, the stand-up show, and, obviously the podcast. Um I don't necessarily know if I will partake in a lot of the podcasts because they're going to be talking shit about Stuttering John or Shuley or whatever, and that's not my thing. I might work out. I just want to do the stand-up shows, but we'll see what happens. Well, I mean, if you want Tommy Morris, you got to pay for that easy. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't. I just know, given the people who are participating in the podcast portion of Hackmania, it's just gonna turn into shitting on Kevin Brennan or Shuley or, Chad or whatever, and that I'm just not interested. Or Ray, and I think Ray will be there. I've never met Ray before, so, yeah, but I don't like, to be I just don't like that whole world. Like, I understand why it's popular, but, it's just not interesting to me. Um It's like, how many times can you call Stuttering John a drunk? Or Chad a thief, or, Shuley, whatever they call him. Um, it's just like, it's been like a year and a half of the same, or Kevin Brennan angry and whatnot. So Tommy has agreed to a part three, Jordan. Uh, well, I don't know if I get it, LL, but, I'm happy in my stand up life. And so, like, I might not be the most popular comic in the world, but I'm good. With my voiceover career, I'm happy with what I do with that. I'm happy, uh, I got to headline the number one club in the world on Saturday night, uh, in front of a sold out audience. So I don't care if certain podcasts like me or not, because it's likely I'll never be in a room with these people. So, oh, 100% days. I mean, that's why Jordan, I was not upset, but I was bummed out that the jellies didn't go on more, because that literally, you get on a hit cartoon like that, um, you know, y- and the jellies like could have been the Black South Park. I think the problem was that Tyler, the creator, is so successful at everything he does that he gets bored with projects. So I think he was just like, I don't want to do the cartoon anymore. Um, yeah, I would audition for Carl Weathers' part in The Mandalorian. I did a very funny 5 minutes at the Comedy Store Saturday night that is being edited by two people on Carl Weathers. Hopefully, it will be out in the shorts form by Wednesday. As you guys know, I don't think you guys need me to tell. I'm not very good with tech stuff, so I have to have my comedy friends, the Earl Army behind the scenes, help me with the putting up or editing shorts and stuff. So I am getting a new iMac this week with a new camera, and I'm having my friend Dirty Dave Taylor come over to check out the Wi-Fi. So, I'm doing my best to make this visually appealing so that you guys, I understand there's many um, other shows like Melton's and the Win by Two guys who, have like killer sets and sound and video. The sound's probably as good as it's going to get at the moment. I'm working on making this better optically. So, yes, Dave Taylor, O'Neill. Yes, I am on the Pork Report today, which I believe came out uh, at some point today. I'm also, I believe they're re-airing my episode of Fame Kills on the ID channel tonight. Well, that sign was $500, so I mean, I am putting money into this. Um, and that painting, I think that the great Joe Urell uh, painted for me. That was a couple $100. So it's I realize my kitchen in the background isn't cutting it, but right now, I'm doing my best. I'm having fun. I've made I don't know, probably $600 in 3 weeks or whatever it's been since I've been monetized. That'll pay for another sign, whatnot. The Jersey collection is upstairs. I sold about 20 shirts over the weekend, so that helps fund new equipment and whatnot. I love Eleanor. I mean, I wish I was on the Jericho cruise, but I don't think they have that many comics on. I think they had Brad Williams, Eleanor, and maybe one other. Yeah, I don't want a green screen. That's too hacky. Uh, so yes, that mask was on maybe two Danish and O'Neill podcasts. So, and I've been getting a lot of DMs about what happened between Danish and O'Neill. I don't know. I, when I see either one of them, I don't ask. Uh, I mean, listen, I'll do my special at, had a place all lined up in Venice. Yes, that is Sting. I may be seeing the great Jordan the Lion with his better half, Katie, um, in Greensboro, March 3rd. I haven't fully committed. I've been looking at plane tickets. Of course, Daddy flies first class. The only problem is there's only one flight that goes to Greensboro direct. I hate connecting flights. There's just too much wild card factors in there. And with the weather uh, being what it is across the country, I really don't want to get on multiple planes. I'm always a nonstop type of guy. First class, of course. No, that is not Nash. That is Sting, Steve Borden. I mean, uh, I think John Travolta has the time. Well, I'll fly if it's like I think the last time I went to Alabama, we flew into Nashville and drove to Huntsville. So, that's an option. Like, but the connecting flights to Greensboro was like fly to Seattle, then to Greensboro, fly to Chicago, which that airport's a fucking you know disaster zone with the weather they get. Um, so, yeah, I could fly to Charlotte and just drive to Greensboro. Uh, you know, there's. I'm looking into it. I mean, I think I have a line on a ticket, a ducat. Although the tickets are selling briskly, so we'll see. Maybe me and Jordan will do a special stream live from Sting, also known as Steve Borden's last match. I bet you did. I bet you did, LaGuardia. I mean, the best airports in LA are Burbank. Like Burbank, you feel like it's your own airport. There's no lines anywhere. I mean, you could get, you know, in and out in minutes. I mean, you have to drive to Burbank, but like the airport experience is very good. Long Beach is kind of a under the radar airport. It's basically like the Orange County Burbank it's their Burbank Airport. Ontario, but that's a far like you'd really have to map out your plane ride if because Ontario with no traffic is about an hour away. With traffic. What am I, Shaq doing a commercial read? With traffic, it could be as long as 2 hours. So yeah, San Diego's not bad either. But I don't think I would ever fly out of San Diego from LA. That's a 3-hour drive if you're lucky. Um, Palm Springs is a good airport, but I don't think they get the big jets. So, well, yeah, but Sacramento's great, but I mean, I'm talking specifically for me. I mean, I usually fly LAX out of habit, but Burbank is. I flew out of Burbank a lot when I was opening up for Rob Schneider because he liked that airport. Yeah, but I don't believe Santa Barbara has the big jets, to my knowledge. It's more private planes and whatnot. I love Santa Barbara though. I don't get any plug from this or any cut of the profits, but I love the Hotel Milo, Milo. Stay there every time. It's right on the beach. It's a Sambo's breakfast place. It's awesome. The pier's right to the left, and then you've got State Street on Sambo's is not a gay bar. Gym right down the street is a gym. I thought stood for gymnasium because of the gym right across the street. Apparently, it stands for gay young male. Pew! Billy Idol sold out his Palm Springs show in February. I mean, he's quite popular and a very good show. Like, I think Billy Idol and Alice Cooper are like pretty amazing for their age. Um, there is that weird venue. I think it's the Yamava Casino. I don't know if it's Palm Springs or Palm Desert, but maybe I'll ask. I'll do a seance with Brody because he had the Palm Desert community on lockdown when he was alive. Um, so we'll see. I thought the Killers should have been the band at the Super Bowl. I mean, they're from Vegas. I mean, you'd have to be the original, the OG four. But now, the Killers they've got like three backup singers, multiple keyboard players. The original bass player I think has a hearing problem now, so he only does like the one-off shows. Um, and then Dave, the OG guitar player who saw me do comedy at the Laugh Factory in San Diego, he was a very nice guy. We had an intimate discussion about Kiss and John Varvatos. The Killers live are amazing. Now I saw them in Vegas last year, 3 of the 4 OGs, the original bass player does not tour with them since 2016. But it was good to see them with Dave, the guitar player, because he wrote a lot of those songs, the riffs anyway. So, but I thought that they're a big enough band where they could play the Super Bowl and people would be into it. But um, life is a highway all night long. I want to throw Tom Cochran from Canada in there, get him in the mix. Um, so I mean, one of the worst Kiss at the Super Bowl was a little rough. Didn't they play the Super Bowl one year and they did Detroit Rock City? Oh, thank you, Gina Bobina. I am putting up a new 45-minute. I think it's actually closer to an hour on Patreon this week. So that will be. I'm trying to put just my stand up on Patreon now, but to the people who say, Earl, how can we financially tip you? I'd rather you do it here than Patreon. But like, hey, wherever. Um, I can tell you one thing: I will never panhandle for money on here. So William Zoom said it best. Earl, you're the bartender. People like what you do; they tip. But I will try and read most of the free questions, and so I do my best. So, but if I miss a question, uh, that isn't a super chat, just repeat it because my vision sucks, to be honest with you. Yes, Prince was good at the halftime show. I mean, Billy Idol, I could see at the pregame. I mean, he's. I don't think he's big enough right now that where they'd give him the halftime show. But like, uh, wait, what was that? Do I have to watch you screw somebody on your Patreon? No, that'll be on the Earl Skakel OnlyFans. Coming soon. Get it? Coming soon. Um, I wish there was a way I could do an OnlyFans and just put up the Earl Skakel famous dick pic, and then that's it. You got 1 month to look at it, and then that's it. I bet you I could make some money on that. If $100, and you've got 30 days, that's all you're gonna get is the famous Earl Skakel dick pic. Me and my human body glory. Oh, he's scheduled at pregame Billy Idol. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Of course, I'm intimate friends with the great guitar player in Billy Idol's band, the great Steve Stevens, who sent me this ray gun. In the midnight hour, she cried more, more, and more. Well, I did have to NFT the dick pic. How do I do that? Yeah, but it ain't my wiener baby doll. NFT my dick pic. That would be pretty funny. It's crazy the ways you can make money. What if I ended up making like $1 million on that? How can I NFT my dick pic? Someone, we'll talk about it off air, offline, as the kids say. That sounds like something. Uh-oh, Lois has awakened. So Lois, my dog, for you new fans. Uh, I cannot. Gina Babina and Jordan, I may talk to you about that. No, Lois literally wasn't walked for 20 hours yesterday. I mean, in between the break-in and the garage, I mean, she won't walk in the rain. So she's already gone back to bed. So, oh no, I've had Lois since 2011. My last foster was Jelly Bean. Jelly Bean was a French bulldog who was abused and lost both her eyes. And I would have kept her, but she obviously she didn't know the layout of my condo, so she would bump into things. And like I have a very heavy TV that if she bumped into it in the wrong spot, it would fall. And so it was just tough. I mean, it was very tough to. to have a if I had a yard, I absolutely would have kept her. But she was a great dog. Like, so someone gave her a good home. And the last dog before Jelly, Jelly Bean, that is, um, was Annie, the German Shepherd. So Annie was the best. Well, Boulder Johnny, outside of me playing a vigilante last night in my garage with a Arthur's Kaliev hockey stick, it's low, low. Well, I looked at a house the other day in Encino that's probably going to go over what I'm willing to pay. Um, but a great backyard, no pool, but a really, really nice backyard. And I could have, I probably would get one giant dog just to patrol. There was a great on next door. And next door is the Wild West, but sometimes there are good topics on next door. There was a great, I think it was called an Anatolian Shepherd, something like that. And um, I mean, it was probably 130 pounds. This dog would scare anybody. I mean, a giant dog, almost like a mastiff. Am I saying that right, Chris Mack? Anatolian or something along those lines? Um, yes, that was it. Some kind of shepherd, right? Um, and I think the dog was abused or something, and so I was approached about adopting the dog, but I couldn't have it in my condo. The dog would definitely knock the TV over. Probably based on the pictures. Maria Bruguera in the house. Follow Maria Bruguer. Um, you know, I mean, apparently the dog's fully trained, but to have a 130-pound dog, and Lois is great with giant dogs. But if I had this home in Encino, I would have absolutely adopted the Anatolian, and I would have called him the Sarge. So, but I don't have that home in Encino. So until then, it's me, Lois, and my Arthur's Kaliev hockey stick. Now, let me show you. I'm going to show you the stick. Hold on. Hold, please. Now, you can't really see it, but Arthur's Kaliev used to play tennis as a child. So that explains the girth of the look at how big, like I have a big hand. My hand barely fits around. I mean, I have to really like grip it. It's like a tennis racket. I mean, look at that. Like that is a probably a whole roll of tape. You really can't see it from here. And it's the famous candy cane. Uh, so we'll just put that right there. Um, I mean, he has an amazing slap shot. Hopefully, we get to see it as an LA King instead of somewhere else. But I mean, there you could kind of see, like, how the shaft is. Most players' tape jobs are about the size of the shaft, but it goes up, 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 and then look at that. I mean, it looks like a African American's pee. Oh, sorry about that. It's the carbonated water. My bad. My bad. Well, I mean, I took that stick down there and I told my neighbor who went down there with me because he had, I guess the guy ripped off one of the cameras in the garage and that alerted my neighbor, the president of the building, and he knows I'm the only one up at that hour. So like 3:30 in the morning, he's like, "Hey, there's someone in the garage. I need you." So I gave him a broomstick, and I took my that, and I said, "Let me lead first. If he charges us, I'm gonna hit him as hard as I can." And, I scared him because I this is my voiceover training from Charlie Adler kicking in. Uh, "Get out, West Hollywood sheriffs." And then I acted like I was on the radio. I'm like, "Yeah, this is, Sheriff 959. We have a robbery, 211 in progress." I don't even know what 211 is. I think it's a robbery. I've watched enough TV shows. Um, Getting hot in here. Yes, Gina. I mean, there are, I think, I believe there's 3 women in here. 4 women. Maria, Gina Babina, the moderator. Um, I think KB. I think people are going in and out of this and the Quad Father. So that's all right. Just gonna do about an hour stream. Just trying to build up my watch hours. Well, I had it ready to slash. I mean, this guy could have had well, Colt C. If you were down, I was like, I had to kick ass last night. And the funny thing is, when the cops came, I opened up the garage door and I had my hockey stick in my hand, and they backed up a little bit because I think they thought I was the perpetrator. See, that's the proper saying, the perpetrator. Uh, no, I'm not. Well, Quad Father, I got to be honest with you, Easy 123. He was trying to get me monetized. So, um, well, he escaped. The bad guy escaped. We just missed him. It was like a game of cat and mouse. Because then we thought we scared him, and then we went back upstairs, and the president of the homeowners was like, "Hey, he's still down there." So I thought, well, I don't know if this guy has a gun or not, or a knife or whatever. Apparently, he jimmied open the front door, so he did have a weapon. Hello, Leo Gun, BYB, great stream. Yeah, I like those guys. I did it once. Um, so I thought, all right, well, let's go in on the opposite end of the garage he's in, so we got some time to move if we have to like move. And then he was leaving out the other entrance, so I ran to get him. I wanted to hit him so bad with this stick, getting a free shot and go, "Hey, it's self-defense." But he escaped. I am a vigilante, Leo Gunn. I speak for the victims. I'm a voice of the voiceless. And when I have to be, since I'm the only one up in my building at 4 in the morning, I can kick ass when I have to. That hockey stick, it may not look that heavy, but solid graphite. And he's got a weird curve at the end. It's like what they call a toe curve. So like in theory, the blade kind of goes like this. So when the puck, he tries to shoot, he tries to hit the puck here. So it literally flies off the stick, goes like that. Now, some players have almost a straight blade, which is good for passing, but it doesn't really. A shooter like Kaliev, he wants it a little curved, so like Kovalchuk's. He's got a stick. It's called the Ovi curve, which is very much. It's like so when Ovi shoots it, it flies off. No, I probably did roast battle him at some point. If you go on Nextdoor, West Hollywood, his pictures are up. I mean, Nextdoor, there is some good on Nextdoor. Not much, but there is some good on it. Um, so, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We're just gonna do about an hour stream. Let Pat Dixon take over at the 8 o'clock hour. I think Ray goes on at 7. He got away with one bag of goods. I mean, he was stacking all the stuff he wanted to steal by the one entrance or exit. He was gonna steal a bike. He was gonna steal a golf club that I used to play golf, so uh, that golf club he was gonna steal was about $500, and a big bag of clothes or a suitcase full of clothes. So It's and I luckily I have nothing really down there to steal. I mean, I have some hockey gloves that but the funny thing is they were probably outside of the golf club the most valuable thing down there is my hockey gloves, but he didn't know that. I don't know. I don't really follow Matt Rife's career. Max, there was some flooding. Yes, there was. I don't know, Maria. I don't follow anyone's comedy career other than my own, and Maria's, and maybe one or two other people. I don't know. She probably heckled them, and who knows? I don't, or he. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl. The ray guns are in a very safe place. Um, I also have a Rambo knife, but that's where you get into trouble. Like, because to use the knife effectively, you'd have to be in close proximity to this guy. Whereas that hockey stick, if he because I told the president, I said, "Listen, stay behind me. If he charges us, I'm going to swing this as hard as I can." And you know, I was going to go for a headshot because that I've been hitting the head with a hockey stick, man. It's fucking brutal. Um, Almost lost several teeth. So it's all good. Luckily, it didn't come to that. Well, it is on camera. It's in the. Um, we might release the video on Nextdoor just to warn other buildings about this guy. Clearly, he targeted our building, which is crazy because our building's actually pretty secure. Like you got to really like work to get in here. But like my mom and dad used to say, if they want in, they'll get in. Leo Gunn gifted another 5 memberships. So uh, thank you, Leo. And, to the people who got the free memberships, thank Leo as well. Leo doesn't have to do that. I mean, she was probably being annoying. Uh, yes, I am live, Dr. Chow, in the house. Dr. Chow, a benefit of a gifted membership by Leo Gunn. Um, oh, I didn't know you could get emails when someone goes live. So thank you very much, Leo. Leo is a frequent tipper in the Earlverse or the Skakelverse. I don't do this for the cash, but it is appreciative. Oh, okay. I'm still trying to figure out the ins and outs of Maria's, or not Maria's, the memberships and whatnot. Luke gifted one Earl Skakel membership. Thank you, Megan. Listen, I appreciate the love you guys have shown me. I do this, for fun, and hey, make a few shekels doesn't suck either. But I will never beg. I will never say I need X amount of money or I'm not doing the show. I'm trying to figure out the right time to do this. I realize my Sunday flagship show is my top drawing show. Um, because it's consistent. Everyone knows, oh, it's Sunday night, 7 p.m. Earl. I'm trying to do that during the week at some point. I wanted to go on after MLC, but then I saw Melton was doing a stream, so I don't want to step on his stream. Not that he would care. I'm taking 39 people out of his stream, but I believe in being I don't know what the right word is. I'm late to the streaming game, so to those who've been there before me, I don't want to step on toes, whether I'm taking people from them or not. It's just who I am. I will be at Hackmania. Uh, so I'm just going there for the comedy shows. I probably won't participate much in the podcast because I just don't like. It's just going to be one big shit talking fest, and I don't do that unless you give me a reason to. So that um, would be something where I'd probably be working out during the day when the podcasts are on, and then do the I would do the late night comedy shows. I mean, like I said before, I see we have a lot of new people here. There's like 7 or 8 comedy clubs. I could do the Hackmania spot, and then I could go to Kimmel's. I could go to Brad Garrett's. I could go to Wise Guys. I could go to the Cellar. I could um, go to what else? There's a couple other. I'm sure Saturday night comedy shows. I could or Friday night comedy shows and come back and whatnot. Leo Gunn, $5. Leo, you are the man. Good job, Earl. You interrupted a burglary, scared the perp off. Nobody got hurt, and he only got away with minimal goods. He did. Uh, Now, if we didn't catch him, he would have made out with at least a $500 to $1,000 bike, $500 golf club, another bag of clothing, and some other odds and ends. It would have been I'll say a $2,500 haul or so. Um, no, I'm Hackmania will be business for me. Business for me. What would an Earl and Friends show look like? Maria Bruguiere. Um, I'd have to think about that one. I might just have all people I hate. That'd be a fun show. So I could have like Jeff Ross, Leslie Jones, um, maybe a couple roast battle comics, and then I'll come in and clean up the slop. Um, I used to live right next door to Barry Manilow in Bel Air. Crazy thing, my mom took me over there because she knew him. And even as a kid, I was like, where's the pussy, man? I mean, this guy's one of the most famous people in the world at that time. Like, there's not a single girl over there, but I just remember there being like 8 dudes. I will be doing some White Shadow jokes. If you ever did catch him, Gascon would drive him back in an hour. You're probably right. That's Gascon is the district attorney in Los Angeles. For those of you who don't get local politics, the fucking worst. I mean, this guy last night had no fear. Like the sheriff's station, literally, I could shoot a puck with the Arthur's Kaliev CCM candy striped version stick, a rare stick. I could literally shoot a puck into the sheriff's office. I live so close. And this guy didn't give a fuck. Like the front entrance is well lit. It took some doing to get that door open. Like he jimmied it open. The cameras are on the inside, so he knew he was being watched. And this guy just took his time chilling. I mean, there are some nice cars in the garage. I mean, there's a couple Porsches. There's a real nice Tesla. He better not touch that guy's car because he's like a bodybuilder. And then, my car's not, it's a nice Jeep, but, there's nothing in it. So, um, I hope he's not back, but, you know, I'll be getting the call if he is. We called 911 and they kind of blew us off. The president of the building called 911. and they kind of blew us off. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's like the guy's clearly got a weapon that he jimmied the door with. He's armed. Thank you. The Kim Congdon episode was great. Kim and I get along very well. You wouldn't think we would, for some reason, because she has an aggressive sense of humor. But I like her because she's the real deal. Um, well, I mean, this guy was not a professional thief, but no, I have a Dodge Jeep now that I have to give back um, in a couple months. So I'm on uh, the lookout for a new car. Not sure what I'm getting yet. Uh, I did call 911, or not. The president called 911. I mean, that kid from Over the Top did it right. Just get in a big movie and just never act again. That's how you do it. Well, I was going to take at one point. I was going to take my Steve Stevens ray gun. I mean, in the dark, this could look like a gun. I was going to do that too. Stop. But then I thought, well, he might have a real gun, so I'm down on that. Kim is funny. I think Dr. Chow, I have the best backside in comedy. But there are a lot of people in the business who do basically do like one movie and then that's it. Like, look at the guy from My Bodyguard, the kid with the bowl haircut. He was the fucking funniest part in that movie. Literally, that's the only movie he did. Now, I don't know if he auditioned for other things or if he was just like a local kid. They said, "Hey, you wanna be this guy's best friend in the movie, and we'll give you a couple lines," or if he was like a child actor and he just couldn't get it going. But there are a lot of great actors who just did like one movie. Like that kid from Over the Top could act. Like, it was a shitty action movie, but like, you know, uh, it was, he was good in it. Yeah, maybe it was a hitman sent by Laura Donna's partner. Well, they left out the real bad stuff I said about him. I mean, I wasn't in last week's episode that much, and I guess I shouldn't have been. I mean, it's not. I mean, we were good friends, but like, it was probably more interesting with the detective and the I guess the district attorney. Um, I don't know what Dutch is. Is that an action movie or something? Let me know. I'm trying to think of more like one one and done actors. There's so many in my head. Like the guy who was in Mischief, Chris. I think his name was Chris Nash. Um, I thought, well, this guy's going to be the next matinee idol in the mid '80s, and I don't think he ever really did anything. The guy from 16 Candles, the guy who played Jake, the good-looking guy, he basically did, like, I think a couple films and then just quit the business, and now he's a fucking carpenter. Like, he just quit. Oh, okay, I don't think I've seen Dutch. Um, I don't know who Shannon Sossamon is. Uh, I'm trying to think well, one of my favorite movies is a movie called The Idolmaker. And it's actually kind of the true story about how the '50s singer Fabian was kind of manufactured. Um, and the guy with the real talent was the guy behind the scenes who wrote the songs. And then Fabian left him, and then he made another singer famous. I mean, The Idolmaker, even though Ray Sharkey's a piece of shit, um, I don't know her, Dr. Chow. Um, I love the ending of the movie where he makes the first singer, uh, an actor by the name of Paul Land, great actor. I thought this guy is going to be the next great actor. 1980. I mean, he's good looking. Um, and then I think he did one like teen romp movie, like Hot Dog the movie, or some like TNA type movie, and just never acted again. Became a mechanic, like just quit the business. Yes, Dick Fitz. Well, Ray Sharkey is dead. Piece of shit because he gave people HIV when he knew he had it. But taking that out of the equation, and it's hard to take that out of the equation, he was great in The Idolmaker. Um, and then the great Peter Gallagher played the second singer that he made. And if you haven't seen The Idolmaker by now, I don't think this is a spoiler alert. But so Ray Sharkey, he makes Paul Land into a huge matinee idol. Paul Land, I don't need you anymore, leaves him. And then he makes Peter Gallagher a matinee idol. He leaves him. And so the end of the movie is just Ray Sharkey at some open mic at a dive bar singing his own songs. I mean, I always thought I don't like remakes, but I always thought that they could have done The Idolmaker, and I know Babyface bought the rights to it, so at some point they were probably going to do it with rap as the background. But I always thought they could remake The Idolmaker with stand up. You know how you could like take a good looking comic who's manufactured, make him into a star, or her, could be a girl, and then they leave the manager, and then the manager finds like a bus boy, turns him into a star, and then that guy leaves him or her, and then the end of the movie you just see the manager who's like a really good comedy writer performing at an open mic at the end. Similar to like what happened in the movie Rockstar with Marky Mark. He becomes a singer and basically I mean Steel Dragon was essentially Judas Priest in the movie. And then at the end of the movie, he's out of the band and playing like grunge style music at some coffee shop. So wait, hold on. I had an ex who looked exactly like her. Oh, no, I mean, Chris, I don't know who you're talking about. How about yeah, well, I had seen Damone in a few things. I mean, Robert Romanus, I think is his name. So, uh, I'm trying to think, um, and like, there was a lot of movies like Fast Times where, like the funniest part was played by an actor who just never really uh, amounted to much after the movie. Like Elon Mitchell Smith, who most people would know from Weird Science, and he was in, of course, The Wildlife. Um, and then one of my favorite independent films, The Chocolate War. He just quit the business, and I think he teaches like history in Austin, Texas. So who knows? Maybe you'll see him on Kill Tony or something. Um, but that guy could act. When I had Patton Oswalt on Inappropriate Earl, we talked about, because I guess Patton knows him, but like that's the crazy thing about this business is someone like Elon Mitchell Smith, who probably could have still had a good career, just quit. I'd rather teach in Austin, Texas, and just be left alone. Um, who's Irene Ryan? Well, I mean, now she had a bit more of a career than a one-hit wonder, but Inappropriate Earl alumni, Jenny Wright. Look at how she started her career. Uh, she started off with playing the lead in a Robin Williams movie, The World According to Garp. Then she gets the Pink Floyd movie. And then, she gets The Wildlife, which was a bomb, but it was a big movie. Like when it was, it's kind of, let's do like a loose sequel to Fast Times. Um, and then, she was in Out of Bounds in '86, Crime Story, the TV show, Michael Mann. And then kind of faded. Just like, that's a girl who was fucking talented and just, yeah, Near Dark, but just like gone. Like literally, when I interviewed her on Inappropriate Earl, she was, like, living on a goat farm in New York, just off the grid. I mean, it took forever to find her. What about the guy who played Rick Morehouse on Just One of the Guys? Is that Billy Jacoby? I was at an audition once with Billy Jacoby. Let me see who played Rick Morehouse. Uh, on let me see here. Oh, Clayton Roner. Yeah, Clayton Roner. He was in Miami Vice. That's another guy, not necessarily a one-hit wonder, but that's a guy who was definitely a good actor and just like I don't know. Yeah, I mean, well, Dr. Chow, when if your ex is as good looking as you say she is, and I'm sure she is, you get a limited time in Hollywood, man. I don't know how talented she was or wasn't, but like, when your career is based on your looks, you got like a 3-year window. And then, I mean, look at Jennifer Love Hewitt. Like, she was the epitome of every guy's fantasy in the 90s. Big tits, humble, nice. And then the second she started aging, like literally the second she got a wrinkle and 5 extra pounds, you're out. Whoever the next one's in, and I'm sure that same thing happened to the next one, and it happens. Stagwar, thank you for that contribution of all right, let me we're about to end. We'll do a couple more minutes, but I like to thank the tippers, the fan funders, I guess you'd say. Leo Gunn for gifting 5 memberships, the great Luke for gifting a membership, and Leo Gunn for a $5 tip to the bartender named Earl Skakel. Well, that's crazy, Dr. Chow, that you can literally just be out of acting at that young of an age. It's a fucking brutal business. Jordan can tell you. I mean, he's just through his own experiences and experiences that he knows of people who are friends of his. I mean, yeah, Renee Zellweger, like, look how cute she was in Jerry Maguire. Like, just like the definition of like cute. And the second she got older, put on a little weight or whatever, she goes to a plastic surgeon and it ends up looking like Jerry O'Connell. It's brutal. Like, because men, when they age in Hollywood, you know, like Sam Elliott was a great looking guy in Lifeguard. And then as he got older, he could play the grizzled vet, the Vietnam vet. He could play the grizzled dad. When you get older as a woman in the business, I'm talking about Hollywood, like acting, not comedy. Um, well, I don't know if she's doing fine, like, because she felt the need to basically change her appearance. I think that was the point. Um, yeah, I mean, no doubt she won an Oscar, but like, you know, it's just a brutal, brutal business. Now, Dr. Chow, no name calling in here. No name calling in here. Um, but you look at, I'm trying to think of another woman. Well, it's in porn too. I mean, look at, porn, it really happens a lot. Look at Jenna Jameson. I mean, she was the darling of the porn world. And then, she has a kid or two with Tito Ortiz. And then, had so much plastic surgery, she looks like fucking Brett Michaels now. Yeah, Meg Ryan. I mean, the second she went from the cute, like quirky, Sleepless in Seattle to like, looking a little green around the gills. Ew. Um, Look at Jennifer Connelly, who is a great, great actress. Look at her in like Opportunity Knocks. Like, she was, oh my God, I had such a huge crush on her. And like, obviously, she was in Maverick, Top Gun, but um, you know, so she's doing well, but like, she's not doing as well. Now you might say, what are you talking about? She's in the biggest movie of the 5 years, but like, she used to get a movie every couple months. The Rocketeer, and like I look at her in the Rocketeer, like wow. But an opportunity knocks. Crush of my childhood. Well, I do run a tough ship here. I tell people any Dabbleverse questions. It's the only time I'll ask for money. $30 and up. Um, well, I mean, Amy Schumer never really made money on her looks. So in her case, I could see. Oh, is it career opportunities? My bad, Lenny. I really. Oh, that's weird. Um, so I could see. Oh, I don't think it was Schumer who ruined the Netflix rating system. I mean, look at Tara Reid. I mean, like that first American Pie movie, like wowzers. And now she looks like Vince Neil. Pew! Melanie Griffith. Look at go Dick Fitzwell. Great ceviche. Sorry, that was the scene in American Psycho when they're at the Mexican restaurant. Great ceviche soup. Is that Ivanka Trump? Um, Melanie, go look up Melanie Griffin one in the movie One on One. I think it was her first acting role, One on One with Robbie Benson and the great villainous actor G.D. Spradlin, who literally started acting at 50 and got into iconic films like Godfather 2, Apocalypse Now. Like he's one of the great. I mean, he squeezed a lot into his career. But look at Melanie Griffin in One on One, where she's probably 18 and just fresh face and like looks like she could have been in a Noxzema commercial. And then, and I know we all age. Do I look the same as I did when I'm 20? No, but I look pretty good. Like just plastic surgery. Just like I've never seen someone look better with after plastic surgery. So no, Cold C, you don't know what you're talking about, bro. I know who special it was that changed the rating system. I'm telling you. You can hit the dislike. You can take away your like. Like it doesn't. I'm a comic of 25 years. I know exactly who special it was that changed the way. Because I have friends of mine at Netflix. Now you might say, well, if you have friends of yours at Netflix, why aren't you getting on TV? It's a tough business, brother. It's a tough business. Um, well, I don't like to. You can super chat me $100, and I'll tell you who special it was. No one super chat me, please. I don't want to. I don't want to get. This is a positive stream here. We love everyone. So, well, that might be true, but I know exactly who special it was. It literally is the reason they one took away the ratings, and two, Netflix will never, ever buy an outside special again. So if you have a special on Netflix, they produced it. Good night, Dave. Thank you very much, as always. I'll have to look it up. I don't know who that is, Lenny. I don't have Netflix. Well, I just, I'm a comic of 1,000 years. I will give Colt C this. He might be right on the YouTube, but on Netflix, it was absolutely not her special that did that. It was someone else's. Adults film. Oh, I thought you said Adult Swim star. I thought you were talking about me. I mean, I'm sure Jeannie. Oh, I get what you did there. She had relationships with everyone. Stagwar, LOL, Hinchcliffe special got pulled from Netflix. I never watched it. So, welcome to Hollywood. But I don't watch other people's specials. The only specials I've watched, and this is on the reels, was Brendan Schaub's first special because everybody kept asking me about it. And then Jeselnik's last special. And Jeselnik's last special, at least the one I watched a couple of years ago, was so good I stopped what I was doing. I was like, I had it on as background noise, and then I was like, I gotta watch this. And then Gaylord Dangler's special. That's a deep, deep Los Angeles comedy. Dr. Chow, you must be on the good stuff tonight because I've seen segments of Gringo Poppy, and I did not like what I saw. Now, I'm not going to lie and say I saw the whole special. I did not. But I mean, saying, and I've had interactions with Shab at the Comedy Store. He's not past there, but he got to do outside promoter shows. Always nice with me. Um, I got no problem with him personally, but saying his second special was better than the first special is like complimenting someone for being the skinniest girl on The Biggest Loser episode 1. Like I can't imagine it being worse. And that's no slam on him, but that first one was not good. Um well, I mean, I know to alarm me, you're wrong. I've never watched the Chris Rock special all the way through. I think I watched a little bit of the one where he talks about I might be getting the subject wrong, but he was talking about if they had like a black version of Playboy, you'd be able to see the bullet holes on the centerfold, you know, or something like that. I can't watch a Brendan Schaub special. I can't. I just can't. I'll take your word for it that you liked it. I did not hear good reviews on it, but I didn't watch it. The second one, I did watch the first one. Someone asked me to do comedy reviews, but I don't know how to cut in highlights of a joke and then analyze it. And um, I don't know how to do that. I would have to hire someone as a producer, and I don't make enough money on the streams yet to do that. So, yeah, but it was probably someone else's joke, to be honest with you. And that's no shade towards him, but I've been doing comedy for a very long time. I've never once seen Shab at a workout room, an open mic, anything. So there's no, if he had a good joke, and I'll take your word at it. Listen, I can't tell you what you find funny, but I would guess if he had a good joke, it was probably written for him. And I mean, he's used to being on camera, so I mean, he is a big guy. I mean, visually, you kind of like that first special. I mean, he's kind of an odd-looking guy. Like a big. There's not many comics who have that body, so you definitely you stop and go, "Oh, this is some gigantic dude doing comedy," but, the first special was rough. Shab has said he didn't do open mics because they're not his fans and don't laugh. Well, I mean, he's right. Um, I can't argue with him on that, but that's what a good comic does. You go into a room and you work on your material. So when you are in front of your fans, it's good. Have you seen Eleanor Kerrigan's wrestling matches? Um, I have. Easy Rider. Hitler had fans too. Well, yeah, but Hitler could draw a crowd. I mean, you got to give Hitler this. And I say this as a Jew. Hitler did a sold out show in front of 6 million people. Now, granted, the crowd did get smaller by the hour. No doubt about that. Um, Well, but and I felt sorry for Schaub from the standpoint of this. Hello, boing, out of control. All his friends are famous comics. So like he's the only one in that group that didn't have specials or wasn't passed at a club. So he's friends with Rogan, D'Elia, Callan, Theo. All of them have multiple specials. I mean, everyone I just named has 2 to 3 specials on Netflix alone. And you walk into the room and that's the hidden elephant in the room at the time that he didn't have a special. Like, why is this guy hanging with us? Are you friendly with Jaslyn? Like, well, yeah, we're friendly. We're not like best friends, but he always says hello to me, and we talk a little fashion. Um, so no, birthday boy stab man. I try to avoid the Pat Dixon power hour. So I'm gonna try doing Mondays at around 6. Um, I did Dr. Chow, I can't watch, Brendan Schaub do stand-up. I mean, that's literally like watching I appreciate the offer, but that is literally like asking Tom Brady to watch, Jeff George throw a football. But see, I don't tell people what they find funny is wrong. Like, you know, I can't say Brendan Schaub isn't funny to you because you find him funny. It's like I went to see Kiss, and my one friend said they suck, and like to me, they're one of the best American bands of all time. But I can't tell my buddy they're awesome. He doesn't like them. Um, I don't, Chris Mack. I don't. Well, but I still am very respectful of, Dixon has his 8 o'clock show, and you know, he has over 100 people in it at all times. I mean, I have 54 right now. That's a lot for me. So 55. I'm at double nickel right now. Hit the like button. Hit the like. That's the only thing I'll copy from the other um, people in the dabble land. I can't stand Tom Segura. Yeah, I mean, he sells out arenas. Like, so obviously he's funny, but if you don't like him, then he's not funny. Um, I like I'm trying to find Stephen Wright. Now, to most millennials and Gen Zers, they would look at Stephen Wright and go, "This guy sucks." And to me, he's a comedy legend. So who's right? Nobody. We're all right. I like Rat, the 80s band Rat, which this sign is based off of. Some people don't. So, it's all just, I don't tell people what they should find funny. Yeah, right. C called C gets it. I had a dream last night that someone came into my apartment and stole everything and replaced it with exact replicas. What the fuck? Hello. No, well, easy. Let's all get along in here. But if you guys want to argue amongst each other, I don't control the chat. I don't block any chats. Yeah, no one's universally liked. The other night in the Comedy Store, I had maybe about 2 weeks ago, so it wasn't quite the other night. But I'm having probably my best main room set I've ever had. It was a hot crowd. They were on board the minute I walked on stage. And then there was one hot girl in the middle of the room. Let me see if I can. She just was like this. And literally at one point, I think she was sleeping. Now it was about 1:35, so maybe she was tired, maybe she was up all day, maybe she found me funny, but here I am, borderline killing, not like Joey Diaz killing, but Earl killing. And this girl was asleep in about the 10th row. So, what are you going to do? So that's, yeah, no one, no comedy is universal. I've done comedy shows, Dick Fitzwell with Bob Zaney. Actually, it's fun. I'm glad I saw that because that's at the top of the chat that's going by. I was in a show. It's the most amazing experience I've ever had in comedy. Oh, I don't know if I'd say it's better than Roast Battle, better than The Jellies, better than I'm Dying Up Here, better than Real Rob on Netflix. Like how I just found a way to plug all my shit. I was in a TV pilot with Bob Zaney where it was like Always Sunny in Philadelphia meets The Office. And I was the creepy guy in The Office, the audio visual guy. Didn't have a lot of lines, but I was killing it. I basically had one-liners. Like I remember one scene with Bob Zaney and the girl I think it was Melissa Villasenor at the water cooler, and I'm, like, basically deep throating a popsicle, and I look over at Melissa as I take, like, stuff it the whole thing in my mouth and go, "Want a lick?" And, I think she got SNL later. Um, a We were on the set of Rizzoli and Isles, called in a favor. Everyone called in favors on this pilot. It was called Damaged Goods. Um, the wardrobe guy was like an Oscar-winning wardrobe person. The All the PAs were like directors of like pretty big things. Like everyone wanted this fucking thing to hit. They rented a 3D camera, which at the time, this is 2012, um, was very expensive. It was like 50 grand for 3 hours. We called in favors for that. And listen to this cast. Listen to this cast. Myself as the creepy AV guy, Melissa Villasenor, um, Gabriel Tigerman, who you've seen in every fucking commercial. Uh, you know, who else was in this? Nick Nicotero is a very in-demand actor. Robert Peters, one of the most in-demand commercial and character actors. Like everyone on the show worked. Like all the actors. I remember at the table read looking around going, "There's no way this doesn't fucking hit." I mean, it's just everyone's good. We're all laughing at the table read of the pilot, and then they never even pitched it. Like, it was crazy, like, all that work. I mean, Ben Morrison was also in it. They never pitched it. Like, all that work we did, they never even pitched it. So, and Bob Zaney was I guess you'd say, the head of the office. I was the creepy guy. Melissa was the secretary. Um, Robert Peters and Gabriel were my co-workers, and it was so much fun shooting it. I remember after the table read. No, we took a break in the middle of the table read. Now I had not known anyone at the table. I didn't even know Melissa well, because I was not passed at the Comedy Store yet, and I don't know if she was. She might have just gotten passed. So me, Gabriel, Robert, and Brian Drolet, who's another guy constantly works. We're all walking to the bathroom in the break. And I just looked at him and I'm like, "Hey, guy," and I didn't know any of these guys. I'm like, "Hey, guys, who do you think has the hairiest pussy at the table?" And they all looked at me like, I'm like, "Oh, maybe I should. I gotta play it cool. Play it cool." You know what I'm saying? Well, I will say we were just on the set of Rizzoli and Isles because they were on hiatus, so we had like 3 days to film everything. Um, so and then I think the arts department guy had just won an Oscar. Like we had two Oscar-winning behind the scenes people, um, and just like they never even pitched it. Like there is a fully edited and shot pilot sitting in someone's garage, and it absolutely would have been like the new Always Sunny meets The Office. Such a fucking funny cast, but who's the best young comic? I would say Kelly Ryan. She's very, very funny. Follow her. I think it's Kelli Ryan, all one word. If you want a male, I'd say Bruce Gray, and it's funny because they actually date. Uh, so I mean, I don't even know. It's not even like it's just it's in some. I don't even know who has it. I'm assuming it's Annie, the creator, but every now and then I'll post on Robert Peters because he was in that. He's like a grizzled looking guy around my age. He's just the perfect character actor. And he just every now and then he'll post something on Facebook. I'm like, "You're posting this shit? Where's damaged goods?" And it's like an inside joke that nobody gets. But that's the business. There's so many pilots that are fully filmed and edited and shot and scored with music that um, you'll never see them. Yes, congrats to Shane Gillis. I've met him at the Comedy Store. A good man. Is Whitney bouncing back from her pregnancy? I don't know. I don't really. I did have a beard, a light beard at this point. I did not know that to alarm me. Um, so this was in May of 2012. I don't know why I remember that so vividly, but we shot it in May of 2012. Took a couple weeks. They did some stuff in Dallas, I believe, with Melissa and Ben Morrison. But so there was money. I mean, they were flying people to Dallas. It just blows me away that it was never even pitched. And maybe it was just the wrong time. I mean, nowadays it could totally be on FX. I mean, if I were Shane, I wouldn't have done SNL. I would have been like, "Fuck you." But his career definitely worked out better than the Asian guy they hired. I mean, name me one cast member from SNL. You can't. Well, I mean, I can. Punky Johnson. That's because we're friends. But like, if I wasn't friends with Punky, I wouldn't know she was on the show. Sour milk. Come on, man, Dylan. If you're gonna tweet about my uncle being assassinated, you better super chat that shit, Holmes. Um, I actually like when Norm Macdonald came back after he got fired, and he said something that if he had the best opening joke of, a couple of years ago they fired me because they said I wasn't funny, and now they're coming back because the show's not funny and I am, or something like that. How did I land that pilot? Wayne Fraser. I don't know, Chris. I don't watch the show. I auditioned for it. You know, creepy. I had an agent at the time, and I forget. I think at that time I screamed "creepy AV guy." Every office has a creep. Always saying inappropriate things, and that's me. So the last time I talked to you in person was when Punky Johnson was tending bar at the store. She got SNL shortly thereafter. She did. And a lot of people, myself included, were very happy because she worked her ass off. And, yeah, it was pretty funny, Colt. I remember like it was all white guys and one black dude. I'm like, you were either going to get this or not be considered for it. Um, yeah, yeah, that's it, Dylan. I knew I was botching the joke somehow, but I hope Shane does something very similar. He's a very nice guy, so I'm happy for him. Uh, no, I would not. Earth sucks. I appreciate the compliment, but I got to start building my own brand. And with three guys, there's no way three guys are going to make money on that. I actually like not that I'm streaming for money, but it is nice to make money that I and I alone get. Did you see Artie Lang's appearance on the short-lived Joe Buck HBO show? Yeah, I was, I did like it because Joe Buck is kind of a pompous ass. So I did like Artie. Just he Artie was way too much for Joe Buck, like So, but I did a roast battle show with Artie once at the. He was so fucking gone, like he was just sleeping, and it was hard to sleep in that room. I mean, it was very loud in that room in that era. I mean, now I think the current version of roast battle is like a cure for insomnia. But I mean, who still roast battles 11 years later? Like, um, oh, that'd be funny, Stagwar. Um, oh, Shocker was one of the great uh, undiscovered horror movies of the time. Like I said on Katie Afraidi's podcast, Shocker. Wes Craven had gotten fucked over by New Line Cinema. So to this day, Wes Craven makes no money on the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and he fucking created them. Like Rocky doesn't make money on the Rocky movies. He produced and created the fucking character. This business sucks. So I think um, Wes Craven was like, "Fuck New Line. I'll just create my next Freddy Krueger." And unfortunately, Horace Pinker just didn't catch on. Um, it's a good one, Boulder Johnny. It's a good one for sure. And Stagwar, it is a good movie. And when you consider the special effects guy, I guess lost his mind halfway through and just left. He took the negatives. They had nothing of his work saved, so they had to like do all these low budget special effects to finish the movie. That's a tough one. I did like the ending of the first Alien versus Predator movie when they show the Predator on the slab and then the alien comes out of his stomach. It's a tie for me. Like, it's a tie. It's a tie. I'm a cuck. I'm a fence sitter. It's a tie. Uh, hello, beloved chatter in the house. Um, yeah, but he's not as rapey as Callan. Who wins, Predator versus Chris D'Elia? I'll go Predator. I don't know who Chris D'Elia is. Um, yes, the soundtrack of Shocker is great. You had Megadeth, you had Alice Cooper, you had a great um, the song Shocker with Paul Stanley singing, Michael Anthony on bass, Tommy Lee on drums, Vivian Campbell on guitar, and Kane Roberts on guitar as well. Um, we will have the power in our finest hour. We will write our own story. Shocker. Great song. I would play it right now, but I don't want to get stream sniped. That's why I'm not a guest on, yes, RIP Carl Weathers. I'll hit a quote. Are you telling me Blaine and Hawkins were killed by a fucking lizard? Um, Peter Berg went on to be a big director. Yeah, here's a funny story. Well, it'll take too much time for me to get it, but I was working at a gym in Santa Monica called Sports Connection. If you're familiar with the movie Perfect, it's where the movie Perfect was filmed. And just by chance, I had the Shocker soundtrack CD in my car. So Peter Berg walks in, I let him in for free, and I run to my car. So when he walks out, I'm like, "Hey, Mr. Berg, can you sign my Shocker CD?" He's like, "Oh, you like Megadeth?" I'm like, "No, I love Kiss." And he just looked at me like, "In our finest hour, we will write our own story. We'll have the power. We'll have the glory." What up, Grimace and Pain? I'm about to end the podcast or whatever you would like to consider this. So let me thank my financial tippers, my fan funders for the evening. Leo Gunn gifting 5 memberships, Luke gifting 1 membership, and Leo Gunn $5. Let me hear you fucking holler. So thank you guys as always for the tips. And I'm glad that I can bring you guys together in a non-Dabbleverse environment. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Good night, Brittany. It's all good. You can always rewatch the stream, It's all good. Kip Smith, thank you for putting me on the Hackamania flyer. I thought if I'm not on the flyer, it gives me an easy out to not do it, but I will be at Hackamania just to meet the lovely KB, legend of the Dabbleverse. Thank you, Boulder Johnny. I'm not sure when the next stream will be. I will let you know. Thank you, Gina Babina, for being my moderator for the evening and for all evenings. Um, and thank you for all the tippers tonight and past and present. Good night, Nick. Thank you, Doodle. Thank you for listening. I mean, 45 people is not a lot of people in the Shuley, Kevin Brennan, Melton world. But you know what? For someone who's been monetized for a month, 45 people, 41 likes, I'll take it. Because when I wasn't monetized and I was trying to get to my 3,000 hours and then 4,000 hours, I was literally averaging 15 people, to be frank. My name is on the Comedy Store wall. 45 Earlomaniacs. I have a small but mighty fan base, and I'm too dumb to quit. This is all I'm good at. 43, I just, you tell the people you're leaving and they start swarming in the place. Yeah, I mean, you remember, I mean, when I first started streaming, um, I literally had maybe 5 people listening. Yeah, it is you can talk about the Dabbleverse, but it will cost you $30. And notice how no one asked a Dabbleverse question. So, and trolls are welcomed. I read most of what the trolls say, but I don't really. Um, I bet Jimmy Carr on television. I could take someone trolling me in a stream. There's nothing you can say to me that's going to make me upset. Jesse Joyce was making fun of my parents dying 2 months apart on television in front of thousands of people because it was Comedy Central. I didn't get upset at all. Jimmy Carr, same thing. Tiana, same thing. K. Trevor Wilson, same thing. K. Trevor Wilson was making fun of me for dating young girls. So, all my girlfriends have been above 18. Some of my comedy compatriots do not believe in that part of the math equation. So I ain't the bad guy. Okay. Well, I don't want to say good for you, but listen, if you don't like what you're listening to, don't pay for it. It's like I tell people in here, listen, if you don't think I'm funny, which is fine. I mean, obviously, I want you to think I'm funny, but like, if you don't super chat me. Don't join my Patreon. I'll live. I mean, really, the whole point of tipping on here is just, it's like a respect thing. Hey, this guy just took an hour and a half of his time to entertain us. I don't know what Jeff Ross is doing. I'm going to have to make some new rules in here. Any Jeff Ross mentions, it's $10 and up or I can't read it. Which ensures I will never hear Jeff Ross's name in this stream. No, I'm just kidding around. But I want everyone, listen. But I also realize that in the super chat and membership world and Patreon world, I'm late to the party, so I get why I'm not killing it. There's only a certain amount of money in the world in the Dabbleverse and non-Dabbleverse. There's only so many people who can super chat, and I'm going on late at night, so I get that most people's resources have already been spent. That's cool. Wayne Fraser gifted 1 Earl Skakel membership. Thank you, Wayne, and whoever got that. Earth sucks. Thank Wayne. Wayne's a good man. Boulder Johnny, $2. Thank you, Earl. Thank you, Boulder Johnny. Um, Jay Santo, I don't know. Jeff who? I can't, so we're gonna do if someone can make this chat, if someone can and Jordan is no longer in the stream, I say. If I don't know if someone's good with Photoshop, but if someone could help me with this, we make a thumbnail so I can put up on the streams a pricing structure of any Dabbleverse questions, $30 and up. Uh, if you want me to say the name Jeff Ross, um, I it's $10 and up. Roast battle $5 and up. Um, and Jeff Speakman, I will say for free, the perfect weapon. Of course, a dick pic. I'm in talks with Gina Bobina to run my OnlyFans. There will be one picture on it, a 1 month membership, $100. It's time for Daddy to start making some money, honey. No, but see, Gina, here's the thing. I'm serious. Now, of course, that would mean uh, see, Stagor, that's cheating. So Jeff Ross is $10 and up. Jeff Lifshitz is $5 and up. Roast Battle is $5 and up. Any ex-girlfriend's names, at least $2 and up. $2 and up. Some will be $100. There's a pricing structure here. And I think that about covers it. The rain has started again. Well, a couple, $100, 10 people buy it. That's 1,000 hooves. Trust me, ACDC 5150. You won't need a magnifying glass. Trust me on that one. Cold C, out of control. Dylan from somewhere, the super chat chart. I guess well, let me put that in chat. I like to have stuff sent to me. So I have to put my light on. Sorry about that. Let me see. You can follow me everywhere. Man, it's hard to do things in the dark. Certain things. You can follow me everywhere at. Yes, this might be illegal. What am I, Vince McMahon? But if you want to, I guess, email me. I guess you can. And that is also my PayPal. If you just want to randomly send me money, hey, I'm Jewish. I'll take it. Hello. But I think you would need a picture, Dylan. So I could send you a picture. Like if you look at my current thumbnail I used for this stream, Jordan the Lion made it. And by the way, check out Jordan's travel vlog. It really is amazing. Oh no, I mean, just for a funny thumbnail every now and then, and it's all in jest. Well, actually, it's not in jest. So, this is a historic stream because tonight, after I hit end stream, there will be, if you want Jeff Ross talk, you got to pay for it. If you want Dabbleverse questions answered, you got to pay for it. Otherwise, it's a happy-go-lucky stream. We're just lost souls on the internet. We're soldiers. So I can't walk Lois anymore because it's raining cats and dogs. Woof. But I thank you guys for the support. I might try, Sunday night's the flagship stream. I can't say that name, but you just gave me a super chat. Jeff Ross grosses me out. Thank you very much with that, Boulder Johnny. You make me feel happy. Dylan, well, yeah, let me know. I mean, you get what you pay for, but let me see what else could we So we got the roast battle. We got the Dabbleverse questions. Jeff Ross mentions hockey questions are always free. Any questions about the band Rat are free. You hear any of Vultures yet? I have not, Dr. Chow. And that's about it. So this has been, I'm going to watch the last, what time is it here? We'll watch the last 10 minutes of Raw. AEW questions, free. Uh, Sexual questions, it depends what they are. So I love you all. This has been Earl Skakel over. Kennedy related questions are free, but if they're jokes about assassination jokes, $20. $20 and up. I'm the only comic on YouTube that has a tiered stream super chat question. I don't know, Jordan. I don't know. And a shout out to Jordan for making my stream Earlverse thumbnail. And like I said, any questions about X's are $50 and up. $50 and up. Because I know some of you animals have done your research on Daddy. Who really killed JFK? Starting tomorrow, you'll have to pay for that question. But you got it in under the radar. You're not breaking the rules. And any Michael Skakel questions, $100 and up. Although OJ questions are free of charge in the house. I mean, Kennedy's had a lot of enemies. You had the Russians, the Cubans, people in the fucking own government. Palestinians. The mob. I mean, it's. I mean, I think Lee Harvey Oswald was a stoolie for the Russians, and probably the Cubans were involved in some capacity. I mean, who knows? I mean, when you have that many enemies, it's like, RFK Jr., who killed him? Everyone thinks that's just Sirhan. Do you really think some Palestinian guy just randomly, I'm going to kill the president today? Of course he had help. Some have even hinted that Eddie Nash, the madman from the movie Wonderland and Boogie Nights, there was supposedly a meeting that went on between Eddie Nash and Sirhan. Rosie Greer was just a fat slob who never should have been the main bodyguard. If I'm ever president of the United States of America and I have to pick up my lead security guard, it's going to be someone who can move. Fuck me. War Machine, that's a good Kiss song, written for them by Jim Valance and Bryan Adams. For those of you not in the know. So this has been Earl Skakel. We got 6 minutes until Pat Dixon is on. So move on to Pat Dixon. And thank you. You be good, Stagwar. And I'll see you in the streaming world a few times this week. I'm trying to hit a regular schedule. Sunday nights at 7 p.m. That is the flagship. Vinnie Vincent and I like Robert Fleischman. I like the songs on the Robert Fleischman album, but I like Mark Slaughter's vocals. No Substitute's a good song. Boys Are Gonna Rock. Super Bowl predictions. It's a tough one, but it's, Purdy, the last guy picked in the draft. He's going up against Mahomes. It's the Chiefs here. I think it'll be a close game, though. I mean, you get Bosa running around. Watch out. You better watch out, because I'm a war machine. Gonna bite the hand that feeds me. Do, 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 do. Gonna turn the tide. Set the demons free and watch them fly. You better watch out. Do 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 do, 'cause I'm a war machine. Do 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 do.